Public Wi-Fi is a wonder of technology. Something that used to cost up to $30 a megabit can now be accessed at any coffee shop for just the cost of a small coffee. But something that is often overlooked with public Wi-Fi is the danger of it, and its general lack of security if not set up well. Hello, my name is Caleb, and I am a cybersecurity major here at the Oregon Institute of Technology. If you don't want to watch this whole video, I'll summarize what you need to know. First, use a VPN if you absolutely need to connect to public Wi-Fi. It puts you in a little box. It's real hard to get into that box, so you're gonna have a better time. And even more importantly than connecting to a VPN, make sure you're connecting to the right public Wi-Fi. You can just ask. Most people will just tell you what their establishment's Wi-Fi is. Don't do anything even remotely confidential. And make sure to be alert when you're visiting web pages because it's really easy to impersonate them. I would also like to define public Wi-Fi. Public Wi-Fi is a usually unsecured Wi-Fi network that is given usually freely in public areas. That could be Starbucks, that could be an airport. I'm going to touch on a few of the common attacks that are performed on public Wi-Fi. That would be man-in-the-middle attacks, sniffing, and malware injection. A man-in-the-middle attack, while these days not terribly common, they do happen, but they're just a little less common as security has increased, specifically with the introduction of HTTPS for our common web protocols. It happens when there is a device sitting between you and the open internet, usually between you and a router specifically. And what it's just sitting there doing is making copies of everything that goes through it. And that means what websites you visit, the passwords you input onto those websites, everything. That should be uncomfortable enough as it is because they're incredibly easy to install. I'm specifically referring to on-the-market devices that are built to do this exact thing. The more dangerous part of man-in-the-middle attacks is that they can just spoof pages you're trying to go to. So, for example, if you're going to your Facebook, they see that you're trying to get Facebook. They serve you a fake Facebook page for you to sign into. Oops, you don't have a password anymore. They just stole it in plain text. These are really easy to spin up. This is also sometimes referred to as ARP poisoning, address resolution protocol poisoning, where they are taking over what your device thinks is Facebook and routing it somewhere else. This isn't super common, but it does happen. Sniffing is very similar to what a man-in-the-middle attack does. Usually it is not directly in between you and the router. It can just be on the network with you. And it is just quietly logging everything that you do. And even though some of this is encrypted through HTTPS, if the website is doing it correctly, HTTPS is not a flawless protocol and can be decrypted if they're willing to put in the effort. And much like a man-in-the-middle attack, this can be done with off-the-shelf devices. Specifically this one, it's called a Wi-Fi Pineapple. It just sits there and logs all of the Wi-Fi data vaguely surrounding it. And you can find these for about $80 online. And if $80 doesn't seem like that much to steal your passwords, you're right, it isn't that much. Don't connect to public Wi-Fi if you can at all help it. How do we protect against this? To start with, if you can help it, don't connect. Really, it is as simple as that. Do not connect to public Wi-Fi if you can help it. Because even if you know the owner, it is uncomfortably easy for a malicious actor to get into a router and change settings to where they are suddenly being routed all of the traffic. This can either be the beginning of a man-in-the-middle attack or a sniffing attack. Next, to prevent against malware, update everything. Update the programs on your computer, update your phone while you're at it. It's not gonna hurt. Those updates aren't for nothing. Most updates have at least a couple of security vulnerabilities that are patched every single time. And I'm sorry if they change the look of your phone. It's better than your phone getting hacked. If you're only working in public for a short period of time, always just consider using a hotspot if you have access to one. They're often slower and a little more inconsistent than normal public Wi-Fi, but they offer some of the best security compared to standard public Wi-Fi, as it is just you on that network. If you need to connect to public Wi-Fi, you should make sure that you're connecting to the most legitimate network. I'm not saying that it is going to be perfectly secure, but you raise the odds of it being secure by connecting to the right one. You can do this by asking an employee which public Wi-Fi is provided by their company. And lastly, if you have access to one, use a VPN, or virtual private network. If it is well designed, it will create a little box around you and route all of your traffic to a specific server, so it is almost impossible to see what exactly you're doing. All they can see is that you're connecting to a server. Personally, I use one. For certain areas, there are VPNs provided at OIT, but you have to be staff and you have to have a very good reason. It's not easy to get one. I would just go get a commercial one personally. When doing confidential work in combination with a VPN, you should also be using AVD to work on a secure and isolated desktop. And I just wanted to give a huge thank you to Bravada. They let us film here. They've got good coffee. They've got good sandwiches. It's real nice in there. It's pretty cool. And they were super cool in letting us just film outside their place. Hopefully, this has been good information for anyone who has been listening. And stay safe and have a nice day.